If you're following the AI space, it feels like this constant horse race, right? Every week there's a new headline, a new champion, a new benchmark score. But what if the real story, the one that's going to shape everything for the next decade, is actually happening just beneath all that noise?
All right, let's just jump right in with the news that's got everybody buzzing. Anthropic's new model, Claude Opus 4.5, just did something nobody's ever done. It blew past the 80% mark on the SWE bench, and that is a brutally difficult test that makes an AI solve real-world coding problems. And in doing so, it left giants like Google and OpenAI eating its dust.
And look, this wasn't just some number on a spreadsheet. This sent actual shockwaves through the industry. Word got out that OpenAI pretty much immediately declared a code red, telling everyone to drop what they were doing and focus everything on catching up. Yeah, the model wars, they are definitely heating up.
And hey, all this competition is super exciting, don't get me wrong. But if we only focus on who's got the smartest model, we are missing the real story here. We are at a huge inflection point where the very definition of what it means to win in AI is changing, like right under our feet.
Okay, so let's talk about where the real fight is happening. It's not just about the AI models anymore. The new battleground is about controlling the entire ecosystem. We're talking the picks and shovels of this new digital gold rush. The chips, the data centers, the whole shebang.
I mean, just look at NVIDIA's move here. It's absolutely brilliant. The old way was simple, just sell more powerful chips. But the new play? Oh, it's so much smarter. They're dropping $2 billion to put their AI inside the very software that designs the next generation of chips. Think about that. They're not just playing the game, they're trying to own the stadium the game is played in.
And that brings us to the other massive piece of this puzzle, cost. I mean, running these things is crazy expensive. That's why this new chip from Amazon, Trinium 3, is such a game changer. They're promising to cut the costs of training and running AI by up to 50%. They're betting that being cheaper and more efficient is just as sexy as being the most powerful. And this isn't just a two-horse race either. Other players are jumping in, pouring billions into building out alternatives. And that's so important, because having more players in the game means we're not stuck with just one supplier, which should eventually drive costs down and innovation up for all of us.
Okay, so we've got this incredible, massive build-out of infrastructure happening. So the big question is, what's it all for? Where's all this power being aimed? Well, more and more, the answer is your office. AI isn't just a fun chatbot anymore. It's clocking in for its first day on the job. And this is where you're going to hear a new term a lot more, Agentic AI. Really, it's just a fancy way of saying we're moving from an AI that just answers your questions to an AI that actually does things for you. It's an active worker, not a passive tool.
Let me break it down. Right now, to get a sales report, you have to pull the data, clean it up, make the charts, you do all the steps. With an AI agent, you just give it the end goal. Generate the weekly sales report. And the agent goes off and figures out all those little steps on its own and just hands you the finished report. And hey, this is not some far-off future stuff. It's already here automating all that grunt work that's super important, but also super time-consuming. We're talking scheduling shifts, processing invoices, you name it. The whole point is to free up humans to do the stuff that requires, actual human brains. But, and this is a big but, all this power, all this automation, it costs an insane amount of money. We're seeing these trillion-dollar dreams crash head-on into the brutal reality of what it costs to build the infrastructure to support them. You see it right here with NVIDIA's $2 billion bet. That's not just money to make more chips for today. That's a strategic investment to control the design of all chips for tomorrow. It is a massive play to secure their spot at the top for years to come. And it goes way beyond just the chips. We're talking about building the actual physical data centers. $1 billion is basically the price of admission for new companies trying to get into this game and offer an alternative. It's like $1 billion cover charge just to get in the door. So why on earth are they spending all this cash? Well, because the prize is just massive. The entire B2B software market, which AI is about to completely revolutionize, is projected to be worth $163 billion in just a few years. That's the treasure they're all fighting over. So, okay, when you step back and look at all these pieces, the infrastructure arms race, this new agentic AI, the mind-boggling costs, it all points to one thing: We are at an inflection point. The AI game has fundamentally changed. Just look at how the game has changed. The old game was a sprint. It was all about building the single smartest model and waving around your benchmark scores. The new game? It's a marathon. It's about building an entire ecosystem, where what matters is how cheap it is to run and how many people are actually using it. The ultimate goal is to control the whole thing from end to end.
And there's another really interesting shift happening too. We're moving away from this idea of one model to rule them all. Instead of trying to build one AI that does everything okay, the real cutting edge is now in building highly specialized AIs, models designed to be absolute geniuses at one specific thing, like discovering new drugs or solving complex math proofs.
All right, so we've covered a ton of ground here, from model wars to the rise of infrastructure and AI agents. So what's the one thing you really need to remember from all this? It means the next time you see a headline about some new AI model smashing a record, you got to remember what's happening underneath. AI is fast becoming the basic infrastructure of our world, just like the power grid or the internet. And when that happens, the question you need to ask isn't just who has the smartest model, it's who is building, owning, and ultimately controlling the entire system our future is going to be built on.